PUA debit cards from EDD are on their way. But how do you use them and how do they work? This is Details Saturday for May 9th, and this is LALATE. As always, like and subscribe. So let's get right to it. We have your comments as well. A lot of major exclusives today with LALATE about the pandemic unemployment assistance for both California and other states. First, let's get to California. By now, several of you have communicated that you have received your PUA debit card. To recap, in California, to receive a PUA funds, you receive it by debit card. And a couple of you have dropped in the comments, but I'm going to jump right to it. How does this work? How do you know you're getting it? Where does it come from? So let me preempt some of the comments and jump right into it. This is again for California. So for PUA, once you apply for pandemic unemployment assistance and are approved, it'll show in the portal that you've been approved for payments. California only requires you to certify for benefits one time, and they are, because of the demand upon their servers and their workforce, are issuing a single time payment that covers you from early March into I think tomorrow, either Sunday or Monday, May 13th or 14th, something like that. It'll say in your payment portal that this money is being sent to you. All right. So then what happens next? You'll receive an EDD debit card. How do you receive it and how do you know you're going to receive it? If you're inside the PUA portal for California, you click on Profile and you click under Payment Terms and you would have selected the debit card. There's no other way for them to pay you. They don't pay by direct deposit or by paper check. But ensure that your information is correct, namely your name and your mailing address. That's all that you have to provide them to receive the EDD card. Third, when is the EDD card supposed to come? A lot of your comments indicate today that you applied on the start date that PUA went live in California and received the EDD card between the last 3 days. So what happens thereafter? Your comments indicate that the EDD card comes from EDD in an envelope marked with their logo, not Bank America. You open it up and inside is a Bank America debit card Visa. And the Visa has your name on it, and there's nothing else about it. Now, some of your comments are quite fascinating. This is where I want to get to the details of this, which are really important for you to listen to. When you get that debit card, you have to activate it, according to your comments, in a way that's a little bit more difficult and more different than a normal credit card. You can activate it by telephone, you can activate it on the computer. Based upon your comments, I'm going to recommend you to activate it on a computer. It's going to ask you to save a username, a password, a security code, a PIN. It's going to ask you to remember a lot of stuff, more than just a normal credit card. And for that reason, you should be in front of a computer and writing down this information, saving it. If you're on the phone, on your cell phone, doing it in your car, you could lose this information, and you don't want to do it because this is a card with money on it. So open it up on your computer. The website's going to send it to, according to your comments, is bankamerica.com/EDD card. That's bankamerica.com/EDD card. And there you're going to go in and answer these questions. And it's a lot of questions to activate a card, more than a normal card. So save your answers, because if you don't, boy, the mess that's going to happen thereafter is just... That's going to be another video if you need to fix it. So what's on that card and how does it work? So your comments all indicate that it's basically payments from early March to May. California's base weekly, I think, is $176. The federal government puts $600 on top of that. So you will get that on a weekly basis for that entire period in one fall swoop on the card. All right, then some of your comments asked, how do you use the card? How do you track the card? How do you request the card? You don't have to request the card. It comes to you automatically from the state. How do you track the card? No need to track the card. If you show in your portal that you are approved for the payments, expect the card, and you applied on the first day or the second day, expect the card to come in the next 7 days. Last, how do you use the card? And a lot of people commented, and we spoke to some people directly who were using it. So you said in the comments that the paper in the envelope was quite probative and quite interesting. That basically the paper in there says you can use it to directly withdraw the funds, but only up to $1,000 per day. You could also do withdraw the funds in a different way. So when you open that envelope, don't throw away the rest of the papers. They're not. You would normally open up a credit card envelope and throw away the rest of the papers, but those papers are a little bit more different, and they explain to you the manner in which you can use the card and how it functions. Most of you have never done this before. It's not something you're used to doing. It is not like a normal credit card, and it's not like a normal debit card either. All right, so let's get to your comments. Brandis, thank you for the information. I'm self-employed and I work from home. My process took 9 days for me to receive my award letter and debit card after applying on April 28th. Oh, so she got her debit card. I activated my card and my benefits were on the card. There you go. It was 7 weeks worth of payments. Thank you. So Brandis confirms what the other people have said in comments. I hope this information helps others. Not bragging, just sharing. I hope others have been getting what they're waiting for. So 7 weeks of payments, as Brandis indicates on the card when you activate it. All right, D is out of New Jersey, so it's a different process there. D, New Jersey hasn't yet to fulfill PUA, but they did send out the debit cards. My mom has an issue for unemployment. She receives blah, blah, blah. So she filed for unemployment, and for PUA as eligible for either. They have her claiming weekly, but they claim her amount is zero. What does that mean? They aren't answering the phones or emails. I can't get an answer for her. So, D says her mom is an employee of her business and she receives a W-2 at the end of the year. So, D, if your mom owns a business and she's an employee of her business, she is self-employed. She is a PUA. As we've indicated to you, as we've indicated in all these videos, it's very, very confusing, but that's how they consider PUA. PUA means a business that you own, whether or not you are an applicant of that PUA. Now, if it shows zero, that means they're just processing something. Call them on the phone. All right, Greg says, I know you mentioned about one person who applied for UI and then denied and then there was a story where they applied for UI and it filled up. So what do I do next when I apply 8 months of W-2? When I worked as a dental assistant, I worked as an Uber driver till February. I need help. What should I do? Thanks in advance. Okay, so Greg worked as a dental assistant from May 2018 to February 2019, and then worked from an Uber driver until February 2020. Now, that's easy, Greg. So you only had one job at the time the pandemic hit, so that is all the PUA or unemployment assistance is based upon. What was your job that was impacted by COVID-19? And in this case, it was Uber. You were self-employed, an independent contractor. And so you are a PUA applicant. So go through the analysis. Remember, when you apply, you are an individual, self-employed. You are not employed by Uber. You are not an employee. You are an independent contractor. And your business is your name, and your business is your social security number, and proceed accordingly. Randy, I live in the Bay Area. I applied for PUA on April 28th, and I got approved, and it shows that I got paid, but I still haven't received my EDD card. It's strange. My colleague applied the same day, and they've already gotten theirs already. Hard to say. If you don't get in the next 7 days after this video or 4 days after this video, you need to start calling. Listen to the rest of this video because someone talks about you can call Bank America to track it down. I don't know anything about that, though. Steve says, thanks for trying to answer my question. I applied. We'll see what happens. Well, thanks for watching, Steve. Kobe says, does anyone know how far back EDD payments begin in light of the current COVID situation? Thanks. Yes, they go back to middle March. I think it's middle March or February. I can't remember. It's part of the CARES Act. It says it it should say it on your state's website as well. Jewel. All right, so this will help. Randy, this will be the answer from Jewel. So she says she called Bank America today. Remember, Bank America is who issues the EDD card for California. And they shipped my card yesterday. Should be arriving 7 days. The Bank of America rep told me in California I got an email from EDD to check my inbox. They deposited money, and sure enough, the Bank of America rep said the amount was on there. And it was pretty smooth. I applied on April 28th, and May 1st, I was approved. Faster than I thought. Got an award letter on May 4th. I had payments backdated to March 8th, and the rep said the full amount would be on the card when it arrives. Let you know when it arrives. All right, so to answer the prior question from Randy, you can call Bank America if you want to check. but I really don't think you need to. It should be there in the next 7 days after this video, and as she confirmed, as everyone else confirmed, there'll be all the funds on the card when you receive it. And this is California. For those of you who are watching who are in other states, I'll indicate to you again, you need to watch your state. In some states, you have to certify for benefits on a weekly basis. You go in there and you get paid on a weekly basis. California just chose not to do that. Denise, question, has anyone be able to correct the start date of the initial benefits back to February? Second question, does anyone know how to submit the paperwork if you qualify for additional state benefits beyond the minimum? $1 million question, Denise. We've talked about that. And here is what we know. And this is the good stuff for the end. So correct their state benefits for back to February. I don't know that that's possible. It doesn't seem like they have the workforce to fix anything in these states. But you can write a letter, convert it to PDF, and upload it in the correspondence tab of your portal, and hope for the best. And maybe get someone on the phone a day or two later. The question, does anyone know how to submit the paperwork to upload for additional benefits? The same way. Write a letter, attach the documentation that supports your claim that you're qualified for additional benefits, upload it into the website, and wait for requests. Now, here are two things I can tell you. One, some states, not California, are only issuing the benefits from the date you claim forward, and then they claim that they're getting to your prior benefits retroactive in the coming weeks when they have time, which is sort of, whatever. I don't know why they can't do it together. So some people are very confused. Where are the retroactive benefits? And they're only seeing the forward benefits. I don't know why those certain states are doing that. As to the additional benefits for minimum, that is also additional drag that's going on in the system, that people are putting in requests for additional benefits. We've had that in our very first videos on this channel, and things are just not moving smoothly. What's moving smoothly is very sort of automated stuff that you apply for the benefits and you get the benefits, and you get a check or you get the card, and you go forward. Now, when you qualify for additional benefits, as we indicated in the channel, it can be up to $300 per week, depending on what your maximum benefits are in the state, plus $600 per week. So it's that is what you may be entitled to. But seeing that come into your account within days is not going to happen. How long it is, I don't know. A lot of great stuff here today, and a lot of more stuff. So a lot of interesting videos for you to watch today. EIDL grant, EIDL loan, controversy in the NFL about coronavirus, and what you should do to protect your business going forward financially. As always, stay with LALATE for more.